Welcome back to FastFreddyRC, and today we're going to do an unboxing video of the Tamiya Manta Ray. Now, this kit first came out on October 23rd of 1990. I remember it well. Ahem. As I was saying, it first came out on October 23rd, 1990, and then it came out again in 2005, and then again in 2018. Well, I missed the re-release of this kit in 2018, so I thought I wouldn't be getting another chance. But in June of 2024, Tamiya did another limited run of this kit. Will it be the last? Time will tell. Either way, I'm super happy to add this one to the collection because the Manta Ray was actually a very important kit in Tamiya's history. This car was the first to be offered on a DF01 chassis, a new four-wheel drive platform at the time. It gained popularity with beginners as a great performing four-wheel drive car and was enjoyed by veterans of the hobby for how easy it was to upgrade. But more importantly, this car is considered to be the forefather of the TA series of kits that came out in future years. In fact, this is also the same chassis as the Top Force and Top Force Evo. Say what now? Nope, you heard that right. The Manta Ray, Top Force, and Top Force Evo are all on a DF01 chassis. Personally, I've had a tough time getting my head around this as the Manta Ray and Top Force chassis technically look nothing alike. However, when you take a closer look at the overall design, you have to realize that the Top Force and Top Force Evo took the DF01 chassis and made it better by adding a double-deck FRP, fiberglass reinforced plate, replacing the bathtub design, which improved the handling and reduced weight for more competitive applications. So while the chassis architecture remained DF01, the frame layout was re-engineered for performance. Hence, the cars share the same core platform despite their different appearances. But here's my take on it. If you've always wanted a Top Force or Top Force Evo but couldn't afford it, you can always get yourself a Manta Ray. It's mechanically the exact same car. The other nice thing about all these re-releases of the Manta Ray, the Top Force, and the Top Force Evo is that getting a hold of spare parts for a DF01 chassis shouldn't be a problem for a very long time to come. The one thing I have noticed about the shocks on this car is that just like the BBX or higher-end Tamiya kits, you have the ability to adjust the springs on all four corners with the adjustable shock collars, so I do think that's a pretty cool feature. However, I'm going to leave my full review of this kit until after I've had a chance to build it. But I will say this, I've not built a Top Force or a Top Force Evo yet, and in some ways maybe I'm happy to have the Manta Ray in my hands first, because really, I just think it's too cool to be able to build the car that brought the DF01 chassis to life. Anyway, let's get to the unboxing. So I've taken the plastic off just to make things a little easier, but let's see, let's get into here. There we go. Right on. That's awesome. Okay, so we have this, I don't know, spare parts and hop-up option part notice. I think it's funny that it's showing the Bronco, but whatever. Anyways, we'll put that aside. Well, since the body's right here, let's take a look at this. Very, very cool. Again, this is going to be interesting to build, but what's funny is, like, if you just look at the design of this, it's a fairly small body in comparison to others on a kit of this size. But of course, it's just the way that the car itself is designed, because you've got the wing over here. So I guess that's correct, but this is a lot of sort of, look at the shaping of it. That's the thing. So it's going to be interesting getting this painted up for sure. Very, very cool. And then of course there's our wing that's going to have to be cut out as well. And you can sort of see the shaping on that, so I'm going to have to do that. So let's go with these first. I mean, there are the dish wheels, and I really like the design of this. And it's interesting, I thought these were totally white. This is actually kind of a gray mold, which I kind of like. It's not their standard white, which seems to be consistent with a lot of their kits. Oh, wait a second. Let's take a look at these tires. Very, very cool. 4 tires of the same size, which is nice. Thundershot's pretty much the same. They're the exact same tires, whether they're front or back. They look identical. Very, very cool. Then here you can see that we've got, looks like probably partial motor mount. We've got a gear cover. We've got another, well, this will be where the motor is attached on this piece here. And again, very, very cool. You can see the gears here. There's obviously your spur, and there's a little bevel gears going to go in there. Top of a gear cover or side. I guess we'll see as we go along. Very, very cool. And then in this bag, you can see that we've got a lot of body mount posts. We've got a lot of our adjuster pieces in here. Looks like there's some shock pieces in here too. And yeah, and those are, they're probably braces, or they could be partially for the arms. I guess we'll see as we go. Very, very cool. And then in this bag, we've got another a gear casing. So it'll be pretty much close to being the same front and rear. You've got a front plate here, another top of a gear casing. We've got our hex drive pieces there for attaching the wheels, and it looks like we've got our servo saver pieces in here, along with some arms. So whether they're front or rear, they've got to be rear. Well, not necessarily. They could be the front too, but they're in there as well. Very, very cool. And then here, well, you can see we've got our front bumper and some other pieces. This will be the plate, electronics plate that'll be attached to the chassis. Very cool. Some other smaller pieces. Looks like that one right there is a body mount post. Interesting. And then of course there is our DFO1 main chassis piece there. Interesting, the sort of the honeycomb design on the bottom. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but maybe we'll find out as we go along. But very, very cool. There is our body, our chassis. And of course this one does come with the Hobbywing 1060. So there is our ESC. Very, very cool. And then of course here is our box of goodies. So I'll just open this up, slice this open, and we'll see what's in here. So first off, there we go. There are our shock pieces, our shock cylinders, the tops, some partial, I bet you these are part of the rings that are going to be locked in place. Very, very cool. Then we have our bag B, and inside there we've got springs, we've got our oil, we've got our drive shafts, we've got all of our gears for the gearbox, and a lot of other metal parts as well, pistons. And of course on this side you can see there's that U-bar, plus we've got the the O-rings, etc. So that's very, very cool. So that's bag B. Then of course we have our standard Silvercan 540 motor, and there we have our front ones, and I know these are the front because they're red. So the red ones get, the front ones get these red front pieces. Very, very cool. There we have our drive shaft, which I always find funny because it's just what I always call it is it's sort of the bent coat hanger as opposed to a propeller shaft. It's the bent coat hanger method. Funny. So then we've got our gears. So we've got both of our main gears and the differential there. We've got our spur gear and we've got some smaller bevel gears, and then these pieces here which will attach to different metal bars in the drivetrain, I'm sure. And then we have bag A, and in here you can see we've got motor plates, we've got bushings, we've got different pinions, we've got all of the plastic bushings, we've got grease. What is that? Yeah, and it's a much nicer, like a larger tube of grease, so that's good. And again, we've got more bevel gears, drive shafts, etc. You can see all that. So there's bag A. And the last thing in here, it looks like it's going to be bag C. And we've got nuts, we've got a whole bunch of screws, body pins, some double-sided tape, some zap straps, and some wheel nuts, etc. So that's when we're going to be finishing off the car. So very, very cool. So that's all that's in that box. And then in here, haha, we've got all of our decals. Very, very cool. Some double fishers. I really like the color scheme, and I am going to do this box art because I just think I really just want to do it box art. So that's very, very cool. And of course our speed disc pieces that are going to go onto the wheels themselves. Very, very cool. Awesome. And then of course finally we have our instruction manual. And I mean, I say this all the time, but Tamiya's instruction manuals are just incredible. They make it very user-friendly. Going through all of this, you know what parts you need, etc. And they're just very well laid out. So it's very, very cool. And this, you know, again, being a DF01, I'm excited to build this version of it as opposed to the Evo or the Top Force, the regular version, because I've not built a DF01 chassis yet on the channel. So very, very cool. Love it. So there is our unboxing of the Tamiya Manta Ray, and this will be coming out soon. I will be starting on the build, and I will be doing it in chunks. So if you're building along and you want to go faster, be sure to become a Fastlane Pass member, because as the videos come out, I will be releasing them as a bunch, and they will be available for members first. And then for each video, it'll come out once a week. But as a Fastlane Pass member, the chunks of videos that I make will be available. All of them will be available as a member. So very, very cool. So I'll get started on that fairly quickly. So there is the unboxing for the Tamiya Manta Ray. So until next time, we'll see you in another video.